All right, good morning, everyone. This is Michael Venezia, head trader and one of the coaches at TradeView Markets. This is a Monday morning, being October 10th, and it's nothing changed throughout the year. There's an important CPI number, this week, and every single number is. I don't like throwing this term out a lot, but it almost seems like every number is a binary move every week, and that's evidenced by the moves in the markets. And I'll get to that in a second, but. As I was saying in the room today, the gentleman, and thanks for signing on. I didn't see Joe in yet, but we're waiting for him. He's actually been making some great macro calls along with Coach as usual, because he's the macro guy. If you ever hear me in the videos or going back and I say I leave that to the professionals, that's something like Coach is able to break things down and articulate it to me as a trader, and then I'm able to disseminate it and do whatever I want or put the information to work, if you will. I mean that too. This has been a cerebral market, even though there's been uncertainty. There's been no doubt to the fact that the bond market and the dollar has been driving equities, including globally. So you know what? When and I've been posting a couple of times, when you haven't had movements in the bond market, I'm talking bond market, at least in American terms, is blue blood. It's like George Washington and going back to money with the Pilgrims. I believe, and I posted the worst year in the bond market was 2.8%. I think that was back in the 80s. And this year, the bond market's down 15 point and change, 15% bond market. People in Boca Raton and everything are getting hit like that. And that's why you see another leg down right here. I'm going to get everything to a second. But this is a very pivotal week, again, with CPI and earnings starting to come out. And you know what? Nobody really can break down the earnings accurately. It's really how they're going to take the news. For example, you know what? I have to sign to the TradeGATEHub, and good morning again. TradeView Markets, great site. Let me give an example of the TradeView Market site. TradeGATEHub, and this is how I sign in again. That one little tab, if you will, brings you to a whole universe of trading room, top news, market movers. Gives you up and down, the watch list, the charts right next to it. So this one tab that was TradeGATEHub gives you the Forex, it gives you commodities, it gives you the most important feature of TradeGATEHub is that the red YouTube channel. The red YouTube channel gives you all our videos going back, and we almost have 2,000 subscribers, and we're growing. It is, and it should. Well, I'm not patting myself in the back. We're not going to rest until everybody gets subscribed. We want to have a platform to help, and it's free, as Coach says. So going back to a couple of, a year and a half now. Coach and I do videos every day. So what I'm saying is, get out here, and that's just one tab of TradeView Markets. We'll go to TradeView Markets right here. You go to futures, and it's just as extensive in any tab of TradeView Markets. It's really a great site, and I have a ton of fun poking around. Well, because I've been here for almost 12 years. It's close to the inception. I'm proud of, and I like poking around just because if there are any errors, which there are a few, but we're all open. I have no ego here, but just everything. The platforms, you download platforms, great site, and right here. So poke around if you have time. If you got this far, we'll go back into TradeGATEHub, and as I said, all right. So Monday morning is the most important date of the week. It's almost dynamic, if you will, and it's when you do go back and look at the YouTube, the past videos, you'll see that the data that I put out on Monday is not only consistent, it's almost basically in order. All right, so here's where we're coming. Okay, by the way, Monday morning, that's always my sign on for the new ones. All right, a macro market view. All right, like I said, it's a redundant statement that this is a pivotal week. I mean, it really is. It's every week when things are uncertain becomes more and more pivotal, because the market does not like uncertainty. So this is our macro view. The comp broke right now, and you're seeing stocks like Microsoft. I said for it to, I'm going to jump ahead here because now we got things moving. Here's Microsoft, which I said earlier on in the room is right now is a gauge in the market. Microsoft breaking even 230 is a big deal. It's not even that oversold yet. So the common denominator I'm hearing through my friends or the Twitter universe, and this is it. It's get it over with. You know what I mean? Just drop it to 3,200 and change, or 3,500 or just get it over with because it's inevitable. PayPal was one of our better positions that went from 95 to 84 in 2 days on news. I mean, it was above all the moving averages, curling up, heading in the right direction. There's nothing I could do. I got hurt in Riven. I'm not going to lie to. I got hurt in Riven, but you know what? I got to apologize to who's ever listening because I've been somewhat hypocritical. It is somewhat of a hypocritical game because some teachers are. It's a lot easier to stand on the sidelines and look from a macro view and start pointing and being a conductor instead of getting behind the keyboard. And this is what I'm saying is that I let some of my trades turn into positions. Now it's taking away from my greatest acumen when the VIX is elevated right here, is having good day trading. And there was no short of that. And I'll go back in the room, if you will, or show you trades with you. Did I finally marked it up where you could see my entries and exits? So I stepped on my own toes with getting out of my best style, and they cost me. So I'm trading very well just to cover some losses. And I'll go over that in a second. Okay, still in TradeGATEHub, and we'll go over here's our macro view. Recap, all data is always a previous day close unless noted. Goldman Sachs equity color, read it. It might seem to be a little bit of difficult reading, but the more you read it, the more you kind of comprehend it. Trust me, it's not just like you're staring at a formula and trying to figure it out. The more you read it, the more we'll comprehend and things will come together. So please read it. It's from Goldman. Big deal. All right, S&P sentiment. So we have some time to go. It was good that the oils popped up nicely and they reversed. And I read over the weekend that they only closed that way because of dramatic change in short covering into Friday. I'll fish through that and send it to you later. So there's S&P sentiment. All right, no fear or greed yet. Coming to a Monday. As I said, it certainly wasn't like last Friday into Monday morning where they just completely flushed it and there wasn't a buyer. I didn't like the fact that the futures popped on Friday like that. It left a lot of downside open. I'll get into that in a second as well. So S&P NASDAQ sentiment. What the NASDAQ's down today. Not that fearful. Everybody might be waiting for turnaround Tuesday, as now it's Monday late Monday morning. VIX crude in the dollar. Everything's elevated, including the VIX. Credit default swaps in the danger zone. Nobody knows. Panic euphoria model. That's evident. But you know what? Panic is not in my vocabulary. I get annoyed. Maybe the worst I can call myself is maybe impatient. But I'm not panicked. We have cash to put in. The only thing I'm panicked about is I'm pissed that I forego. I went a little bit against my macro plan. It's tough to do on a daily basis, and I'm not trying to weasel out of it. Weasel's not in my vocabulary either. It's just, it's a tough game. All right, big busy week with the big picture ahead. All right, you should be writing down. This is the notes for the week. Numbers are driving the market now, not price action. Short-term sentiment, go over that again. Sector sentiment, they bounced a little bit, but this was still well below any type of level. The wave, Job, I did that for you, and always is a Monday tradition off the leans charts. Depending on how thick your pencil is, I don't know how that came out, but I joke with the lean about that. Sometimes you just got to start using a marker instead of a pencil. All right, there's the XME. OIH, that's why I pulled in a little bit today, at least it's seemingly so. XLE, island bottom on a lean. ITB, great coach on the great call on the coach. You know what? They're even acting well today. You know what I read? The owner of DHI Home Builders died. He's a big horse racing guy. Owner died. Forget what his name. Oh, his name is DHI. It's Horton. William Horton. DHI. He just died, William Horton. The owner of DHI just died, and I know you're a fan of that. September 1st. Was a boy. The guy also died too. DHI. Look at that one. Good home builder. Coach, great call. Getting back to the picture. Future basing. All right. XLP. It's good that they're selling off the staples. We're picturing a couple of them right now. That Kellogg was parabolic a month ago. Parabolic. Hold on. It was General Mills. I'm sorry. General Mills. You didn't see a move like that today in General Mills, 74 to 81. Man, it's a big move coming down. Gerard pointed out Coca-Cola. Good eye again. Let's look at Lewis's Minnesota Mining, and it is a staple. There's 3M. 3M is just one of those companies, man. It's like IBM. It just had so much tradition and backlash to it. You just need a Kickstarter, a catalyst, or something, an overhaul. Great company, cool symbol too. My father wrote for the owners. They were the Bingers from Minnesota Mining. They wrote from Minnesota. XLP, XLV. I'm surprised that the biotechs and the healthcares came in this much. Even the XBI to this point. Even the Labud is stuck in the mud. You know what I mean? These are the Labud. That was a weekly. Let's go to XBI daily. You know what I mean? It's just not. It's you know what I mean. I want it to be different, but it's not. I don't want to force it. 3-day down. I just it's not even sexy anymore. You know what I mean? XBI, no interest. What else are we doing? Something's coming back on the screen. XBI, no interest. XLV, no interest either. But I'd probably take a position in the XLV, and I might, you know what? There's the XLV, and when I want to articulate what I look at when I see the chart. The XLV, I get it. There's the line. It's 1 day away from having a 5% move, then a 10% move down, then up. I don't think I'm going to have to micromanage if I put the XLV in the fund, but I think I can get it cheaper. So how about that? You know, that's where I leave with the XLV. Not yet. How about, in other words, not yet. Back to share. Economic calendar for the week. If you can't see it, blow it up. Upgrades and downgrades. You creates best in class. Even need them. Bob at JD, all day went down. All right, this is the focus list for anybody who wants to take money out of the market. This is all these. Write these names down, and to no surprise, the majority of oil and gas stocks. Inside days for the chartist. Friday's plan or Monday's plan. I also posted this as well. This was from Adam Mancini. Let me guys. This is one of the best future traders I know. As I'm going to put on a trade here. What's up? Am I up in AEM? AEM can't get going again. What dog? Nougat. You stink. Riven. Nothing's bouncing. I digress. Okay. The chart back to compliments of Adam Mancini, one of the best chartists I know of out there. Check it out. Riven. I'm long it. This is my thing in Riven. I should have sold it at 31.5. I thought I was going to get more. That's Walmart. We don't have any. We're Ribbon. Should have sold it. Should have sold it 31.60. Now it's 30.50. But you know what? I should have sold somebody. I'll tell you, talking about the NVAX, which we were hurting. NVAX went from 16 to 18 and basically got me out of a lot of trouble. And I sold the majority of it, pounding away 18. Now it's 17. I'm going to start buying it back again a little bit. NVAX. I'll go to the 5-minute chart. Why did I get that at 18? Because there was the gap there, right? The gap, the only gap from NVAX, and also this base here, right across. Boom, 18. And you know what? If it went to the other gap, 18.90, I was prepared to that too. Now it's a product of the market, but I took a loss when I had to. I'd have an ego. Oh, NVAX, 1 day up, it's going to turn around, go back to 20. No, I had 12, 14,000 shares, a stock that bounced 2.5 for me, when my average price is 18. No, now it's 18.80. So I'm out of majority of it. Now I have 4,000 left. Next, gives me capital. It cleanses my head. It's a poison. I do like the stock to a degree, but there are better, as they say. Another chart on Citicorp, but this didn't help you. Actually, Citi's down 0.5 today. That's not bad. Where's Citi? Citi, some decent signs. Apple, it's all over. One of my boys, didn't Justin's boy call it to 120, 100? It looks certain 125, but I'm not in Apple. Fund's not in it. Also have some Nougat. Now the Nougat went with the AEM, and the AEM day trading was this. I bought the golds on the open. There's my trade, blue, selling it. Now I'm long NEM. Nougat. I came in long it over the weekend. I was buying it. Then I sold a bunch, and I'm buying it. The Nougat, the daily chart. I don't want the triple ETF. Now I think it does bounce, but it turned into something that I might have thought would go to getting out of a problem. Like a lot of things are happening lately to everybody. So it's just how you handle the problems, not the winners. I think that way. Anybody could pick a winner. Back to TradeGATEHub, pre-market movers of interest. PayPal, I sold it. You want to know what I did, Lewis? I sold it. I sold it. I did my research on the company. I didn't want to hold it. It has my hair. I did my research and I sold it. I took the loss, I got out of it, and I sold it. That's my answer on PayPal. I hope it goes back to 120 for everybody owns it. If it does, I'm a trader. I don't look back that much. It is what it is. I sell a lot of stocks that double and triple. Conversely, I get out a lot of stocks that go down 2 and 3 times. It is what it is. As we say, next. So, XLP. Yes, Coke, GG Money. Thanks. I bought some AEN. So it was decent day trading this morning. NVAX. Thanks for posting G Money again. 18, 20. That's where I sold it. Is again, that was posted hours ago. Now it's where? Oh, whatever. LVS. Okay. Now this was, this is disheartening. This is the difficult part to trading. LVS was a good position. And yet again, I thought it was a little extended, but it wasn't a stock I wasn't going to add to. And the win was the same thing. Win broke off the 200-day, was building, broke off out through the 200-day, had the base forming, rested properly when the market was weak Friday, except for the last minute bounce, if you will. And then you go from, 73 to 64. That's disheartening. LVS, I was up nicely in it. I didn't think it was a chase, and there was reason for it to go up. So now LVS goes from 43.60 to 38. That's $5 on change, man. Sucks. Excuse my vernacular. All right, next. We'll say again, next. But now, okay, same thing. The typical theme is I was trying to hold, and even in the fund, to hold a winner and coddle it and not go, oh, this one looks good, and let me buy 20 whatever shares I said. And that was not the case. I was trying to build into something because the market's in a downtrend. Pardon me, and I wanted to build into it, but you know what I mean? Now it's so, now listen, if I didn't own it, I'd start here, but I'm not going to add to it. I don't, that should, to the older traders, that will make sense, but that's my plan. Microsoft, by the way, Microsoft, the issue that was posted, what? An hour ago. This is the issue. Microsoft. The big daddies. Microsoft can't hold. And by the way, as I said before, there's ACMR. Do your research on this ACMR on Twitter. It was a big deal with China and how they make a lot of semi chips. It's why the markets, by the way, it's why a lot of the chips are down. AMD, we didn't buy it. So thank God. We were going to buy it for 60 at my mom. Stock's 56. So I actually saved some of my own inheritance. Bravo. But where are we going to go? Where are we going to go in the weekly? The weekly is 60. No. The weekly was 60 now. You know what? You know what? It's always a bad sign when you got to look at a bottom on a chart and go to a weekly. Never a good sign. Do get an answer from the daily. That's not good. Okay. Next again. And we'll wrap it up if I have any questions. All right. This is my my universe today. I posted my universe on a daily basis. Check it out. Search it's ACMR. I'm sorry. ACMR. ACM. What's going on here? ACMR. That's the stock. I apologize. Pardon. Okay. Also, Microsoft 230. See if it helps. Now it's 229. See if it recaptures it. I'll go over some charts and finally, Nougat. Any other questions? No. Okay. Wise guys. I have to do that before I forget because that's most important. I'm not a wise guy. I follow the wise guys. Let's go to what they're doing as 11:20 Eastern on a Monday. And by the way, only the option flow, as I've been articulating, has been a couple have been going out to January, but anything has been weeklies just because people don't want to speculate and tie up a lot of capital in common stock. And they're going to options, including weekly. So Goldman sentiment indicators, nothing sexy there. I'll post that later. There's the wave theory. Where do we go? Where are we now? 36.80. Next wave down, 35.60. So the low here, according to the wave theory, correct me if I'm wrong, G Money, is 35.40. Then we see 3,700. Once again, it's a tool. I don't know if I think if we see 35.40, we go lower. I'm not going to lie. It's depending on earnings. Soxel bullish. They're taking the Soxel up now. That can't be bullish. Oh, Sox are bullish. So this is when I see Sox are bullish, but they're only going out to October 22nd. They're going out to 2 weeks. It's a baby bet. But let's see what Sox is doing as I say that. Sox low today was 785, 815. No interest. I think we sold it as a 1020, 1018. It went to 12, but we sold it at 1018. I took the trade. 1018 or 1088. I forget. Something like not interested in trade anymore. Made its move. We go back. Sox are bullish. Here's the chart on the dollar. Let's look at the chart on the dollar here. They're pulling a 7. They got to pull a 9er, coming to the upper range of the dollar right here. Noted. Okay. IWM puts, Coca-Cola puts are still going Coke now, bearish. They still don't want these staples. That's bullish. Squeeze seepers, short hedging, doing some nibbling in battered Z. I sold Z this morning. I came in long Z. Fact. I sold it. I don't like it. You know what? You want to play Z? Just do this. Buy some lotto calls in Zillow if you want. That's the best you could do in that thing, man. That's a tough stock. It's with Redfin. So when I look at Zillow, and trust me, I was positioned in Zillow because I was playing for last Friday at the end of the quarter, going to Monday, the beginning of the quarter. I was playing for a little bit of a squeeze in some stocks. I wasn't heavy. Z, as you guys know, I play, and so was Wayfair. And this Zillow, with Redfin, and it should have been going because there's Redfin year lows. Lennar's hanging in there. The home builders, as I said, the ITB is futures, making a little bounce here. Something moving. AEM, Nougat, Carvana coming back for Mike V. Carvana, embarrassed. Riven, nothing. So when I see the markets coming back a little bit more live trading, you guys know I have my own queries. This is what I go to. I go to Stock Scanner, and I go to Most Active now. Let me see if I'm sharing correctly. It's all I'm interested. AMD Most Active moving up now as of 11:22. LNTH is moving, so that says that lithium, CVS bounced. That was in play. SE, the fund holding, PPL, EMPH, so a couple of energy stocks, a couple things across the board. 6. They look like a couple of short coverings. CarMax, Walgreens is going with CVS, big deal. Nova Gold is going higher. So you know what? Maybe we'll add to some of our AEM here. We will. Boom, live trading. PNR. So the bottom line, really, what you want to be interested in and not confusing, as I said, a Monday morning, and this is the only thing we should be caring about right now. Up high in relative volume, and then we do some more research if range is applicable. But the range and volume for the more short-term traders is all you should be interested today, and not trying to be a hero, because if there's thin volume, they turn the other way. So what stocks that I would have an interest? Piton, okay. FTNT, that's a cybersecurity, got upgraded. So when I see that, I go look at it. I look at CRWD, I look at S, I look at NLOK, I look at the rest of the group. I'll do that after. RLX, Marna, that goes with NVAX naturally. Merck, got upgraded. NVAX, no surprise there. Sober, I sold that on Friday. I'm upset. What's going now with the high, with the Urban, MMAT tops? Okay, what's down on relative volume? I bet you this also gives you it's indicative of the market as well. If the stocks with down volume with high percentages is twice as long, it tells you the market's in a little bit of a bearish stance. Same thing. For example, let me go to up high and relative volume. How to read this? The bottom of the page has stocks. The worst stock is, the best stock is only up 1.1, so it's 100% of its volume. Now, if you go to down volume, let's go to the bottom of the page. A lot more stocks have 1.1% and more down volume than all, including stocks that shouldn't be. AMD, Procter & Gamble. So you have AMD, the biggest chip maker. You have Procter & Gamble, arguably the biggest staple. What else do you have? Nevada, down again. XPEB, the automaker. BABA, the biggest Chinese stock, if you will. So, you got to keep in mind when you see this picture, it's not only, it's the way you interpret it, but it tells me that the market is still bearish and nothing's changing at the moment. All right, new highs, the new high list. This is what I would do for, every when I got back from lunch. I still do. So I'd write down Philip Morris is on the high list. Not that much volume, but it tells me what state of the market's in. Urban Outfitters, okay, a retailer, big deal. Moss, that goes the opposite way as Moss and CF go. That's a inflationary. Piton, no big deal. Merck upgraded. Boeing, not interested. Caterpillar. So that says a lot to me. Caterpillar and Boeing. People are starting to step into those type of stocks. It's not really that good for the overall market if you're into techs and all that. So I'm going to wind it down and go back. TradeGATEHub, ACMR, TradeGATEHub, notifications. Okay, Europe is closing momentarily. Keep that in mind. That's a big deal. Coke bearish, FIVM plunges, CFO or CEO resigns. Nice. So this guy's leaving the company to take a pre-IPO job. There's an IPO income, I don't know how long. Then in talks for a buyer, oil company. Then Danbury Resources. So there's an oil play. Alt AM NVAX got nothing. What a rat. Riven. It's all right. What else? Growth. Okay, another thing. And I'm just trying to concentrate if I'm not that enthusiastic. Swing trade bot, free Twitter feed. Rose above previous day's highs. It's still listing. You're interested in that. That's all right. Markets right now breaking low, for lack of a better term. Stocks are breaking high 4 minutes ago. And this is IU. Swing trade bot is the same thing. Look, it's the same guy. Yeah, I'll get into another time. I already logged in and everything, but a great free site. Oh, did I sign out? Great free site. Have any questions as I get back here? I want to do a little research. Big picture isn't pretty, Jimmy. He's right. Coke. They're still going into Coke puts down here. You know what? And look at this. The market. It's amazing how it's a theme that the sellers sell lower and the buyers buy higher, and they're doing it even with Coca-Cola. The shorts are driving Coke down. That's unprecedented as it sits on the weekly on the 200-day. So when I saw Coca-Cola in the daily, I said, "Uh-oh." Then I go to the weekly. It's sitting on the green line. The green line's the money line, the 200-day. You know what I mean? It went down to 36, but that was COVID. The trade's over. I don't want to even trade it for a pound. How much? I have to buy 50,000 Coke to make $1. It's not even worth it to me. But it's got my eye on a macro situation, and there are a lot of options going off. And if option traders are going there, they're going with puts with Coke. That means they're going with calls somewhere else. We'll have to fish around and see where they're going. That's all. So I'll leave it there, gentlemen, or ladies and gentlemen. Okay. As it's 11:30 Eastern Monday morning, I'm going to be posting rapidly as usual. Any other questions, I'll always get back to. For those tuning in, thank you. For those that missed it, obviously, if you're on, you didn't miss it, but always go back to our video and playlist. As a matter of fact, coaches, and props to the team. Coaches 9:30 Eastern video. As I said, it's 11:30 Eastern. Is already posted. I'm going to go watch it. Warriors. Take Tony Pistachio out for a walk. They can get my list going of stocks with high volume, low volume, good range, and positive price action. And then I get into the close and I judge how the market is going. If these stocks are going with the trend, then maybe I'll add to it in overnights or take a position. That's what I do. So until then, everybody, thanks for tuning in. Trade